For the past 3 years, my husband and I have traveled to 43 different states in our van, visited 7 different countries, walked 1 Camino and 2 long-distance treks. We've had an incredible time, though it hasn't been without its mistakes. Today, I'll be sharing with you the major mistakes we've made while traveling full-time. I'd also like to thank Luisa for sponsoring this video, but we'll get to that later. Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Crystal from Vanhalla Adventures if you're new to the channel. For those of you that are already subscribed, welcome back. Today I'm going over a few different things I think will be really helpful for those of you that want to get into traveling full-time or have begun their journey traveling full-time and are still trying to make sense of the whole thing, or for those of you that just want to travel for longer extended periods of time. So for the first couple years, I've been living with my husband in our van, Beatrice, and we traveled around the US. And then for this past year, basically past year and a half, 2 years, we've also been including more travel internationally. And so this is really mistakes that have compiled both from van life and also from international travel abroad. Please be sure if you have any questions that come up whatsoever during this video, be sure to put the questions down below in the comments so that I can answer them, because I really want to make sure that you guys don't have the same mistakes I did, because a lot of them cost us a lot of money. And while I'm grateful for all the experiences we've had, these are expensive learning lessons. So let's go ahead and just dive right in. Okay, this first one is like heavy on my heart still, and that's that we've spent far too much money on flights and hotels. I would say this is a very big mistake and a very hard lesson to learn for us. So when we started traveling outside of the van and started going internationally to Europe and to UK and things like that, I think we had it in our mind, kind of almost like going into vacation mode, which usually you're getting like an Airbnb, a hotel, or a flight. And I don't think we had really fully gotten into the ways that most digital nomads live. There's so many other ways to travel and to stay somewhere without doing hotels or Airbnb. We just made a video of one of the ways we travel for cheap, and that is using Flatio. You can go watch the video that we made on that after this. I'll put a link down below in the description you can check out later, and up here I'll put a card. We weren't utilizing all these different ways that digital nomads travel. Flatio is just one of them. We will be making another video about all the different ways now that we travel for cheap and even free. But that was one way we looked at. We're like, oh yeah, staying in a place longer actually can be less expensive. So we thought, oh no, if you stay someplace longer, it's going to be more expensive, when really it's the opposite. So we spent a lot of money on hotels, lots on Airbnb, when there's so many other ways to do it more financially responsible out there. Also, we were looking at flights, but we really weren't utilizing different ways to make that cost lower. We were kind of nitpicky on places we wanted to go. I'd be like, oh, I want to go here, I want to go here. So we develop our plans around a place rather than looking at deals first, looking at points, looking at all these different ways to travel, and then deciding our travels from there. So sometimes it's great to be like, I really just feel in my heart, I want to go to Scotland, to Ireland, or wherever it is, that's great. But that can also be more expensive if you're not looking at what's actually going to be better financially. So now when I'm making plans, I'm looking at what's also in my heart and what's also a really good deal for the time of year that we can go, and also being flexible more with our dates. So sometimes needing to put off that dream destination just because it's going to be more expensive at certain times of the year. Does that make sense? And also not utilizing things like trains. I'm gonna give you an instance where this would have been helpful. We were just in Budapest. I'll also put a card up here and link down in the description. Budapest was really wonderful. What I could have done to utilize our time is stayed in Budapest, then gone to Prague and Vienna. These are very inexpensive places to go. They would have just been a train ride rather than us jumping ship and going all the way over to Portugal and doing an entirely different flight. I didn't really think that one through at the time, to be quite honest. I was just like on a whim, like, that sounds great, that sounds great, that sounds great. And that is really not the way to make full-time travel really feasible, unless you just have a buttload of money that you just are like, whatever, I don't really care. That's great if you do, hooray for you. That's definitely number one, way too much money. Not utilizing points correctly for travel. So Brian and I have begun getting into the points game with credit cards. I think we had like an Alaska Airlines credit cards, and we were super psyched because we didn't really know what we were doing, but we knew that it had a mileage point on it. So we were psyched. So we were using that for a lot of different things, but rather than getting the right credit cards, that allowed us to shift points to different places, whether it be hotels, whether it be different airlines, rather than just one specific airline. We didn't really play the points game well, and we paid for it. I would say that's one of our biggest mistakes, is not utilizing that sooner and not learning the hacking game sooner. And now that we are, it's kind of blowing my mind how much money we spent. So it kind of goes back to the money thing. Really, all three of these are really based on money, because we could have been a lot smarter about it. So I'm a huge fan of credit cards if you know when to pay them off, like by your statement date, and you know how to not get in trouble with racking up a bunch of debt. So that's definitely one of them, is we got ourselves in a little bit of trouble with that because we didn't know how to do it properly. Now that we do, we're all good. This goes for van life and for traveling internationally. Packing too much. I want to bring all these pretty dresses. I love to dress up. I love all these different things. And so I brought high heels, and I stuffed so much stuff in our van, and we definitely have more room than obviously living out of a suitcase. But I had packed so much stuff. I did not need that much stuff. And if you think about it, even when you're at home, you probably reach for the same things over and over again. Those items that are functional and you're comfortable in, and the occasional thing to really dress up. I brought all sorts of stuff, and I way overpacked, and I packed like it was going to be the apocalypse, and I needed an outfit for every different occasion. And it's kind of like, now that I look at it, I'm thinking, what was I thinking? I brought all these vintage clothes, whatever. Anyways, it doesn't work when you're traveling full time to bring a lot, because one, it's going to cost you extra money when you're traveling with your suitcases. The more suitcases you have, the more you're going to pay, plus the more you're going to lug around. And if you're going from trains and flights, and you're even walking, especially in the streets of Europe and things like that, cobblestone streets, it's just such a pain in the butt. It's so worth it to just not bring that much stuff. I packed the wrong type of stuff. Now, this is very important. This is different than packing too much. This is packing totally the wrong type of stuff for travel. When you're living out of a suitcase, even if you're staying somewhere for a long period of time, I don't know very many people that want to pull out a bunch of wrinkled clothing and iron every day. Again, a lot of places you do not have access to a dryer in the world, and so you can't just fluff things up. And I don't personally like to take a lot of the time during the morning to iron out all these clothes. And when we're in the van, that's not even a possibility. It's not even a thing. So I was bringing heels and different shoes for all these different types of outfits, which is why I overpacked. Or clothes that got wrinkled really easily, and also clothes that stained really easily, or they just took up a lot of room. Or if I sweat, they would actually show like sweat stains, if that makes sense, where it's not really a stain, you know what I mean? But you can tell you were sweating really badly in them. So I've learned to pack clothing that's wrinkle friendly, or I just have to take it out of the closet maybe the night before, and it'll just naturally, the wrinkles will fall out. I don't mind about that. I want to also have a lot of breathable clothing, which is one reason I wear wool so much, because it's great for summer and it's great for fall. It's great all year round. I love it. And also because it dries really fast. Again, because we don't have a dryer. So I like things that dry fast, that don't wrinkle, aren't going to show stains. It's one of the reasons now I finally understand why so many of the people that travel full time really get down to a small amount, and they're generally in black a lot of the time. It's not my favorite color, but I wear it because also when you're traveling and you're bumping into a lot of people, and you're in the city, or you're going for a hike, right? Because you're exploring. Things can get dirty very quickly, even if you're a person who's like precise with your eating and things like that. So I've really gotten to that place of loving timeless, classic pieces. And I just brought too much, right? Like too many shoes, too much that. I like everything to kind of mix and match, which is another big thing, is making sure that everything can kind of go together. So really creating a capsule wardrobe. If you are someone, man or woman, that is getting ready to travel full time, know what you love, know what you like, or just start creating a capsule wardrobe where things that you can wear out. If you're gonna, sometimes we found ourselves going to fancier places than we thought we were going to. So making sure that maybe you could adjust for that, or just something super casual. I think of it as going from trail to pub to coffee shop. Like, what are the outfits that I can wear that really can be versatile in all those different situations, and I can easily layer. I also used to bring a lot of different jewelry. Don't know what I was thinking for all these different outfits when really I just needed some timeless pieces. And that leads me to our sponsor for the day, which is Ana Luisa. If you've been a subscriber for a while, you know that Ana Luisa has sponsored our videos in the past, and I absolutely adore them. Any of the jewelry I have worn at all on our YouTube channel has come from Ana Luisa. The pieces that I'm wearing today, of course, are all from Ana Luisa, and I really like these pieces because they're layering pieces. A lot of their bracelets and their necklaces are great because you can mix and match for whatever you're doing, and I always forget that I have them on too, so I wear them even when I'm working out, and it's never a big deal because they do not tarnish, which is great because I'm terrible at remembering to take off my jewelry before a shower and all that sort of thing. I love that about Ana Luisa, and of course we're coming up on Valentine's Day, but even if you don't have someone that's gonna buy you jewelry, I think this is a perfect time to really gift yourself. At least that's what I like to do, buying myself some nice timeless pieces. They have so many different things I think work well for women or men of all ages. Thank you, Ana Luisa, for sponsoring this video. Love your stuff. I hope you all do too. Definitely check them out by checking our link in the description below. And for a limited time, you do get a link for 25% off their items. I think it's well worth it, and they travel really well. And they also come in cute little pouches, and that's also another thing. Their packaging is fabulous. This one's a little bit more personable to Brian and I, but I think anybody could learn from that, and that is our schedule. So this is a hard one to explain, but stay with me here, people. So when Brian and I first started, we were in our van and we both were working full time. And I don't think we took advantage of the places that we visited enough. And what I mean by taking advantage is that we didn't see enough of the places I would have loved to. We've made an effort now to be more intentional with our time, to be more intentional with our work hours. And I would really invite you, if you're planning on doing this, think about really what you want to see and how you want to be somewhere, and really take it all in. Because I think there's a lot of things we missed out at. And I would also add that one of the things we didn't do, which I learned to do, is when you go somewhere, go to your local coffee shop, go to a local bars are actually really good places because people tend to be really talkative. Even if you don't drink, get a soda and bitters. Find out what is going on with the locals, the events, the places that everybody's going to, so you actually get to see what's going on in the country, or even state, city, town, whatever that you're in, and really get to know the place. Because I think I would have liked to gone to more farmers markets, to more different events that the local community was putting on. So that is most of the mistakes. I would say there's a couple probably other ones that are smaller, but I would say those are our biggest mistakes. And so I'll be doing a follow-up video to this, unless you all are not interested, so let me know below, about now the different ways that we do travel for cheap and for free. But if there's anything within this you want me to expand upon because it wasn't clear enough, or just because I didn't want to make an hour-long video on this because I don't think anybody would watch, let me know, because I'd be happy to go over those in more detail. If you just have any questions about traveling, please do let me know. I hope you all are having an amazing winter wherever you are. Blessed be everybody. I will see you all on the next one. Bye.